अस्सलाम वालेकुम ख़वातीन और हज़रात, वेलकम बैक टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ टॉक बिहाइंड थिंग्स। आज हमारे साथ मौजूद है एक बहुत ही खास मेहमान, वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट rappers in the Pakistani industry. I would call you a rapper.
Yeah, sure.
Is there anything else? Like producer, composer?
No, rapper is
Rapper
fine.
is the right word.
Yeah.
And he is he's in Pakistan for a very little time, and he took the time out. So thank you so much for taking the time out and finally making this happen. I mean, I talked to Sunny, I talked to Hashim, and everybody was just like, Xpolymer Dar is the real person that you need to speak to. So finally, thank you for making this happen.
Thank you for having me. I was looking forward to do this.
चलिए ज़बरदस्त। डार भाई, मुझे ये बताइएगा कि you've been doing this for 16 years.
Yeah, 17 almost. Yeah, 16.
How did you sort of start, and what's your journey been since high school till now?
I've been a student of literature. So, family, maybe my mother is very close to writing and stuff. And that came into me as well. I always liked writing and reading some of the great people. And that's how basically writing it through. And of course, I could never sing. I always wanted to do music. So, then I started listening to hip hop through Park, through Nas. And those were my first two rappers that I got introduced to. And it gravitated me, and I understood that this is where I can actually express myself as a lyricist, basically. So always been a lyricist. Rapper is an extension to it.
Right. Have you written lyrics for other people also?
I do quite often.
You've been doing this since high school या उससे पहले?
Since middle school I've been writing. Like poetry basically.
Right.
So वो मैं करता आ रहा हूँ.
और स्कूल कहाँ पे गए थे आप?
Initially I was born in Saudi, so I spent my first till 5th grade I was over there, and then when we moved to Pakistan, I joined SLS. It's in Pindi.
Right.
That's where I did my schooling from. So वहाँ पे basically I got really interested in writing. We had this visiting teacher. She was from England. She made us do comprehensions and writing poetry. And everyone used to write those essays, and I was the one doing poetry. And she encouraged me a lot. And that's where she basically made me understand that I do have a thing for this. So,
right.
Yeah.
And then उसके बाद कॉलेज कहाँ से किया? SLS से?
नहीं, फिर मैं गया पंजाब कॉलेज.
Right.
Complete shift in dynamics. It was a fun experience. Showed me different side to Pindi.
Got you out of your bubble.
Yes, definitely. Because in school I was still transitioning from that Saudi phase. जो बहुत like it's very decent, अच्छे बच्चे सारे. But Punjab college got me out of my bubble. Sure. Yeah.
Right. And then उसके बाद फिर you got you went to Bahria, I believe.
Yes, I went to Bahria University. Applied multiple places. Never got selected in UET, LAMS, NAST. So Bahria was the fourth option.
करने क्या कहते हैं originally?
Intended to do business studies, but on everyone's recommendation, eventually fell into the engineering trap.
अच्छा.
Yeah, so did electrical engineering from there.
अच्छा, you completed your full electrical engineering.
Yes, yes.
And उसके बाद फिर आपने did you pursue music or क्या scene था?
So the very first week in the class, we discovered that within the same class, we had 4 more guys who were into rap. It's very weird because I thought कि यार मैं ही rap सुनता हूँ और लिखता हूँ. तो उस टाइम पे the very first week was very awkward in a sense कि हम एक दूसरे को observe कर रहे हैं कि यार ये भी rap कर रहा है. उसने अपने 2 दोस्त बना के उनको सुना रहा है, वो 2 उनको बना के सुना रहा है. तो but eventually there was a welcome. हमारी ही welcome थी नए boys की. तो these seniors observed us, these 3-4 figures doing rap on separate situations. फिर हम आपस में battles भी कर रहे थे. तो they asked us to perform on our own welcome. So and they introduced us on stage with the name of Rap Engineers. खुद ही से, because we were in the engineering class.
Right.
And that's how it happened. We formed a group, and that's where it started.
Achha, so this was the name was essentially you didn't come up with it. You were born with it, right? Like,
yeah. They gave us this name. I don't even remember who was the host, but he coined the term, and it's been stuck with us since then.
Very cool. And we're gonna come into rap engineers later and all the other
Yeah.
people who were there. But graduation आपने कब के साल में complete की?
2011.
2011. And then उसके बाद फिर you immediately went for further studies or
No,
job?
I had my personal life has been a separate situation. Then music life has been a separate. So I had to tend to that. I left for Saudi right in 2012, early 2012, and for work basically, and then returned from there in 2014. And then the next job that I started in Islamabad was project management based, so it required me to do masters in project management. So I tried to pursue that as well.
Try to, as in you never completed that?
I did not complete it
Achha.
because once I went into the degree, I understood. मैं curious, I was an intelligent kid, but never the top of the class. So when I found out I'm top of the class in this batch of people, which is doing MSPM and which has professionals as well and young kids as well, then I started noticing the pattern, the things that we were studying. Those were pretty basic.
Like common knowledge for you.
Common knowledge. And I was like, I know this stuff. The things, and then I looked at the coursework, the things that they were supposed to teach you throughout the degree. I already knew them. Then I thought that I should target for the certification directly instead of doing the entire degree.
Right.
So I still intend to do that certification, the PMP certification.
Right.
But I gave up on the degree though.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about the rap side of things? So, I mean, I believe you went to Saudi, that sort of took a break, I'm assuming.
For me, music has never been a thing of जिसको मैंने career बनाना हो, ठीक है? It's been a passion. It's something that I love to do, like to do, ठीक है? So whenever I have time, I start working on it. It does not matter which part of the world I'm in. I'll find someone to work with. I'll start creating something. So music has been like that for me forever. So Saudi, wherever you throw me, I'll do something.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you're moving out of Islamabad?
Yes.
Is that public knowledge?
Not yet.
He's moving out of Islamabad. Breaking news, हमने दी.
Yeah.
But so right. So that's where you're at right now. मैं थोड़ा सा conversation को switch करूँगा, and I'd like to, for my understanding, and every time we do a rap episode, it's weird. So you guys have this weird rabid audience. जिसमें मैं थोड़ा सा लड़खड़ाता हूँ या मैं एक बंदे के नाम लेता हूँ तो दूसरी वाली पार्टी आ जाती है. So disclaimer मैं start में दे रहा हूँ, I don't know a lot about rap. I try to research, but it's such a complicated and such a diverse field now कि it's difficult to sort of keep up with it. That's why I love having conversations with some of these kings who essentially created the industry, and for them to explain to us as well. मुझे थोड़ा सा ये बताइएगा. I hear this word hip hop and I hear this word rap, and I try to understand the difference, but मुझे more often than not लगता है दोनों same चीज़ें. What's the difference essentially?
I'll be very honest and open. When I hear people say in Pakistan or subcontinent or anywhere else in the world other than where hip hop was born, कि हम hip hop कर रहे हैं, it's kind of a cringe to me. Because hip hop was a culture that was born in the streets of New York, and those people adopted and lived it. ठीक है, तो very few places. Probably I've seen. I follow a lot of battle leagues and hip hop platforms. Probably in Philippines, in UK, and a few other places, Brazil, where hip hop as a culture is actually being followed. But when you say hip hop, it's because it's a huge term. It's a proper culture in which a person has to like embody it.
Right, but it's very interesting. What do you mean by that? Like culturally, क्या चीजें हैं?
Because like for me, if in the position that I am, अगर इसी तरह में जो काम मैंने put in किया हुआ है और जो मैं करता हूँ basically, अगर मुझे लेके अगर आप US में रखें ना, probably in LA or New York or whatever city, because it's pretty rich over there. I'm at the bottom of the list because I rap, and that's it. There's the whole concept of being an MC.
Okay.
An MC is someone who does not just rap, write. He also does freestyle. He also does battles. He on-spot battles.
MC stands for?
EMC. That's what they say basically. MC.
Okay.
So M or C भी लिखते हैं. People have different ways to write it and say it. But MCing means being a full-blown public speaker basically.
Right.
And you can represent your craft anywhere, any point, kahin bhi aapko leke jao, you can actually portray that. And 100% of rappers don't do that in Pakistan, basically. So
if I understand, sorry मैं आपकी बात कर रहा हूँ. So if I understand this, you're saying कि most of the rap in Pakistan is primarily performers जिन्होंने तेजी से बोलना सीख लिया, जिन्होंने रिदम के साथ कर लिया. बट अगर आपको रियल टाइम पे, जो मैं देख रहा था even with the rap battles, a lot of it वो आपको नजर आ रहा था कि वो पहले से दिमाग में बना कर आए हैं कि यार हमने ये गोल मोल करके ये थ्रो करना है.
No, that's the new pattern. वो तो battles होती इस तरह अब, ठीक है. Even West में भी इस तरह ही battles होती हैं.
Right.
And we have great rappers. We have amazing rappers.
Right.
Nothing to take away from them because I fall in the same category.
Yeah. But what's the difference? So I'm trying to understand कि different. what आपने कहा ना वो freestyle भी करते हैं. What does freestyle mean?
If you ask me to start rapping on a topic, I can't.
Right.
And also having the capability of having a bunch of verses ready at any time, at all times, being skilled with your pen. If you ask me to do a song right now, and I can do it at the very highest level within 30 minutes, basically things of that order, where you actually surpass a certain threshold, okay, where currently these greats, Jay-Z, Nas, all of them are. You can watch Timbaland's interview और बाकी लोगों के जो बड़े producers हैं, they speak so highly of them because they are walking legends and they're proper MCs, ठीक है. तो MC, then again coming back to the actual point, hip hop is a culture. You have to embody it and live it. It's and nothing to take away from people over here or anywhere. You can't, because it's not our culture. At the end of the day, we like listening to rap. We always like listening to rap. Rap is a very, attractive kind of music. It gets you going. It has a very nice rhythm. It also talks on issues and all of that. So you gravitate towards it, and then of course you want to do it,
right?
And then you do it. And but your space or place in that entire realm of hip hop is just being a rapper, which is, you still are a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
But you're not.
But it's like step one, phase one. Like आपने भी बहुत बजाना है.
Yes.
आपने कहा वो कल्चर हमारा बाकी चीज़ों का तो नहीं है. But I feel like, and this is something that's been a long time contention of mine as well, कि हमारे यहाँ शायरी का एक एलिमेंट था जिसमें शायर आते थे और वो रन टाइम के ऊपर ये चीज़ें करा करते होते थे.
बिल्कुल.
अच्छा, और उसमें वो शायरी, मुझे याद है मैं मुशायरों पे जाया करता होता था व्हेन आई वाज यंग, एंड माय कजन्स इस्लामाबाद उधर थे इस तरफ लिटरेचर एंड उस साइड पे. उसमें ये भी होता था कि आपस में शायर आते थे, वो अपनी एक पोएम नज़म सुनाएंगे, वो दूसरे को डिस करेंगे एसेंशियली. बट वो सो आई डू सी इन एटलीस्ट इन दैट एस्पेक्ट देयर वाज अ ह्यूज कल्चर दैट एग्जिस्टेड विद इन पाकिस्तान, बट दैट नेवर गॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू दिस new form of art that sort of Western inspired. Like a lot of times what we see is कि even within as a creator or as a YouTuber or as an Instagrammer, मैं आज ये podcast कर रहा हूँ तो मैंने जो रोगन को देखा या मैंने इस तरह के कोई क्रिएटर को देखा और मैंने उससे देखकर अपनी एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग बनाई कि किस तरह बनाना चाहिए. And I think the right form is always think global, act local, where you sort of take some elements from within your own culture and integrate them, and that's where you can really shine.
Yes.
Do you think there's, एक तो आपने बोला कि ओवरऑल एज एन इंडस्ट्री वी आर नॉट देयर येट, बट डू यू थिंक देयर आर सम राइजिंग स्टार्स who have where you've seen यार ये देखो ये 15 साल का बच्चा है, ये तो बड़ी चीज़ें कर रहा है.
There might be. मैं नाम मेरे ज़हन से निकल रहा है. This is a guy who does live sessions on Facebook in that quarantine artist platform group. He comes live and just goes off the head. People comment and he just keeps going and going, and he's on point. And whatever kind of rhythm beat there is, he does that. I'm not saying there aren't people like that who are, and he infuses local language as well and try to.
So we're beginning to go towards that side now.
And I'm sure there will be people out there that I do not know of.
Yeah.
But currently, what I see does not contain that, basically.
Yeah.
I would like to remember his name whenever I can, so I'll drop it in later on. But you've brought a very great point. This divide, there is कि हम बहुत कुछ west से absorb करते हैं, which is nice, and it's part of evolution, and they're leading the showbiz world, basically. And there's a huge divide. There's dying art forms, ghazal, qawwali, and mushaire की जो आपने बात की. These are dying art forms within Pakistan. कुछ खानदान रह गए हैं, कुछ लोग रह गए हैं, ठीक है, and you can see with time they'll go, ठीक है, and this entire जो हमारा अपना एक local flavor था, it will go.
Yeah.
So this is rap engineers was a term always, but I believed in experimenting. ठीक है, तो मेरे जहन में हमेशा ये चीज़ रहती थी कि आई हैव टू कीप द लोकल एलिमेंट अलाइव जितना मैं अपनी कैपेसिटी में कर सकता हूँ. ठीक है, तो दिस इज वेयर आई डिस्पाइज सर्टन हिप हॉप क्या कहते हैं जो आर्टिस्ट हैं, ठीक है, विद इन द सब कॉन्टिनेंट और इवन ग्लोबली, जो कि एज इज वेस्टर्न साउंड को रेप्लिकेट करके काम कर रहे हैं. वेयर इज योर फ्लेवर? यू नीड टू डू दैट, यू नीड टू कीप दैट लाइव. Being an artist, I feel it's a responsibility to keep the local flavor alive for as long as you can. Basically, of course, do all that. ठीक है, शौक बंदे को पूरे करने चाहिए. But at the end of the day, keeping that local touch alive is a responsibility of an artist, basically.
Yeah, there's a 2005 article that says it's if I remember this correctly, 2005 Pakistan's emerging rap scene. No, it's actually 2011's, 10 years ago, decade ago. And it says Xpolymer Dar, who is a rapper and rap engineer, has been making music since 2005. Crew had started while his members were studying in engineering in Islamabad. The recently released single Conflict Management has been making rounds on music websites and channels and is proving to be an expression of the current situation of Pakistan. This is a decade ago. You know, Tribune is covering you guys. Obviously, you're not national. You're not the sort of, and this year has been, isi usme I was looking at, and I think you're mentioned there as well, but August 2021, the news did another piece, rappers, music's new royalty. And we're seeing that, you know, with Coke, with Pepsi, with essentially the brands that create your royalty, music royalty, right? Like Pepsi वो जुनैद जमशेद और जुनून को उठाता था और वो उस टाइम पे क्रिकेट के राउंड में आता था. तो इस बार हमने देखा कि जी फारिश रफ़ी इज़ देयर, यंगस्टर्स आर देयर, and all of these people are now getting sort of the attention that rap has unfortunately not gotten over the last decade. First of all, how do you feel about that? Because, and this is not an attack on you. To be honest, like me as a creator, just to put it out there, you know, I've been one of the oldest in Pakistan. I don't have millions of subscribers that a lot of newer kids have, and that's perfectly fine. But just to sort of get a feeling of how do you feel about the fact कि जी आपने 16 साल काम किया, and then now there are these newer kids who probably are working in a very different way than you would have preferred, and are now finally getting that mainstream attention.
Well, I'll like to start with my perspective, basically, because I'm not a right person to talk about this thing, first of all, because my ambition to do music is to do music only. It was never to, then again, like I said, create a career out of it. Okay, this is what I like to do, love to do. And even when this conflict management आया 2011 में, it went viral and all. मैं यारो कैन मैडी हम मलंग लोगे basically. We never knew the kind of fame it was getting, how viral it got. मुझे था कि भाई मैंने गाना निकालना है, काम करना है, और फिर मुझे एकदम ख्याल आया वो घर ख्याल करना है, नौकरी पे जाना है. I left for Saudi.
Right.
Then there was this break, and then YouTube got banned. A lot of artists got affected उस टाइम पे. काफ़ी पाकिस्तानी rappers थे जो कि उस पर टाइट पकड़ रहा था वो बहुत ज़्यादा. And then it got a break, and then it never affected me personally or emotionally. A lot of people, काफ़ी लोगों ने इस पर प्रोटेस्ट की, बातें भी की. आदिल उमर ने, अली गुलपीर ने, तलाल ने गाना निकाला, खोलो के नाम से. तो but for me, I was never connected to music in a way that I have to get something back from it.
Right.
So it has never affected me, still does not. Coming to the next part, seeing what's happening today, I'm actually pretty happy. I'm very happy, and I'm satisfied to see the way it's going, the way brands are coming in. The problem with me has been initially as well, that brands do approach me still, used to approach me pehle bhi. There's certain things that I won't do.
Right.
That's the whole point. There's certain things that I won't do, the certain things I won't say. ठीक है, तो things never got to that point. ठीक है, if you want me to do a 4x4 की beat पे simple rap और जाके कहूँ ये भी अच्छा है, वो भी अच्छा है, सब सही है. See, things that I don't believe in, I won't do that.
Right.
So I've been disconnected from that corporate. That's on me and nobody else. And this is not a complaint.
You've been there also. I mean, you did the Power the Game with with Myra and Shoaib Mansoor, and you know that is the top of the top. But you have these sort of peaks, and then you just sort of disappear. And
that's then again my problem. I do not like a lot of attention personally. When we were getting a lot of attention back in 2011, 12, 13, I distanced myself. And then Power the Game came, and people who thought कि अब तो
finally, you know,
Dar scene
yeah.
चुक देगा. And I got married, and then God bless my wife, Madhya, and she's been pushing me to do and do things and move forward in music and all. But even she knows that when it came to people calling me constantly and giving me projects and stuff like that, and people expecting me to do things, it pushes me away. I feel I cannot fabricate things.
You like your freedom a lot, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
अभी क्या कहते हैं, even the music that I'm doing right now, it's I get questioned a lot on certain projects that I did recently कि डार तुम्हारा तो सूफी एक बड़ा वो था, तुम ये काम कर सूफी रैप करते थे और ये करते थे, व्हाट आर यू डूइंग दिस, आप क्या कर रहे हो ये. तो देन अगेन आई बिलीव इन माई फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन विद इन म्यूजिक, द काइंड ऑफ म्यूजिक दैट आई लाइक. मेरे कोई चीज़ मुझे सुन के अच्छी लगती है, आई जंप ऑन इट. ठीक है, तो रिगार्डलेस वो किस जॉनरा में फॉल कर रही है, किस मूड में फॉल कर रही है.
It's your expression, right? You're happy, you're sad, you're sad. That's what your expression is going to look like. At the end of the day, you can't have a singular expression that's going to continue for the rest.
So that is why I'm not the right person to ask these questions. Jo banda who is pursuing probably a career and fame within the industry, music industry, and has not made it yet, he can probably give a better perspective on this. I, on the other hand, I have my own lane, and I know regardless of what my age is, regardless internet exists or not, whatever happens, we like making music.
Yeah, and you're going to continue doing that irrespective.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've noticed, and again, there are a couple of questions regarding the attention side of things, not the fame side of things, but attention, because at the end of the day, obviously, people listening to certain form of art or hopping onto that communication, irrespective of whether that converts into fame or not, is primarily what we require, right? मैंने ये देखा है कि पाकिस्तान में पंजाबी रैप has been there, Bohemia and a lot of this stuff has been there since forever. You know, like rap is not new, to be honest. A lot of people would think it is, but it's not new. And And growing up in Islamabad, you know, it was a very standard thing. We always had rappers here and there, and you always would have. Bohemia again had a huge sort of impact, but हर welcome party में एक दो लोग होते थे, हर उसमें वो होता था. But जो attention मिली वो primarily उर्दू based मिली. मेरी understanding इसमें ये है कि because Karachi really sort of hopped on board, and I feel like right after Gully Boy as well. You know, there was a connectivity in terms of वो एक कल्चर बनना शुरू हो गया, एक बिग सिटी का मिडिल क्लास कल्चर के, you know, हमारी ज़िंदगी कितनी बुरी टाइप से है, and you know, you express that in lyrics and aggression आप बाहर निकालते हैं. Karachi is a tough city to live in as well, but the same thing wasn't reflected in Punjab. Do you think that's because of a lack of middle class that generally tends to, because पंजाब में आपको दो चीज़ें मिलती हैं. पंजाब में या तो आपको बिल्कुल ही जिसे कहते हैं ना कमर्शियल पुरानी इंडियन फिल्मों वाली म्यूज़िक मिलती है, या फिर आपको बहुत ही एक डिफरेंट टाइप की पॉप म्यूज़िक मिलती है जो आपकी सॉर्ट ऑफ अपर मिडिल क्लास एलीट सुन रही है. एंड रैप आई फील लाइक इज़ नॉट एन अपर मिडिल क्लास थिंग, इट्स एन एक्सक्लूसिवली मिडिल क्लास थिंग, बिकॉज ऑफ द एग्रेशन, बिकॉज ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन. और वो चीज़, maybe my understanding is that Punjab doesn't have that middle class to begin with to be able to hop onto this particular culture.
Well, to an extent, you're right. And then again, we've had people like Bohemia, we have had people like Honey Singh who have dominated the industry and still do in a certain way. And Punjabi ka scene, Punjabi ka jo mood hai na globally, it's happy. ठीक है. There are a lot of artists who do like serious music or sad kind of music. So if you can, Pakistan की example ले लें. Pakistan में who is a bigger or popular hit? Abrar, Daler और अताउल्ला. और अताउल्ला की जो सुनने वाली क्लास है, it's very separate. ठीक है. तो अताउल्ला हालांकि like it's not pure Punjabi Saraiki, but then falls in the same spectrum basically. तो सुनने वाले हैं, ठीक है, there's an audience, but then of course then there's not a huge audience. पंजाबी का एक वो stereotype है कि it has to be punchy, party like, happy, upbeat music और
मेहंदी सॉन्ग है ना.
तो और उसमें जो और उस R&B हिप हॉप जॉनरा के अंदर जो पंजाबी आर्टिस्ट हैं वो एक्चुअली आर वे मोर फेमस. टेक सिद्धू मूसेवाला, Guru Randhawa. These are not rappers,
Yeah.
but they fall in that R&B hip hop genre. They have a very
Somewhere in the
interesting
middle.
blend of hip hop,
Yeah.
R&B and pop.
Right.
And they're using it. उनकी beats hip hop होती हैं, ठीक है, प्योर रैप बीट्स होती हैं जिसके ऊपर they put their own Punjabi flavor, and they're the biggest artist in the industry right now.
Right.
It's the kind of flavor that you're putting out basically.
So why do you think we haven't been able to find a lot of those in Pakistan?
I currently there's a group called Puthi Topi Gang. They're still in their early
What are they called?
Puthi Topi Gang.
Acha.
You know.
Right.
So
very interesting.
Yeah, they're from Gujarat. Those guys are amazing. They're doing that kind of music as well, and they're getting huge traction. And you should definitely check them out.
Yeah,
if you haven't.
definitely. I shall. I love the name. You know.
Yeah. So they have those are talented guys. Then there's Khaki from Gujarat as well. So there are few guys that are coming into the scene. I believe I see in them that they will actually take it to that level basically.
Gujarat, two in a row. Gujarat. What's happening there? Is this like a UK sort of culture का वो है या कोई और वजह है? Why are Gujarati suddenly?
गुजरात की जो पंजाबी है ना, पंजाबी जो है ना, जो पंजाब और थ्रू आउट तो पंजाब बोली जाती है, डिफरेंट डायलेक्ट्स हैं.
राइट.
तो गुजरात की पंजाबी इज स्टिल अलाइव द वे इट्स सपोज टू बी. लाहौर की पंजाबी थोड़ी डाई डाउन कर गई है. DHA बहुत इन्फ्यूज़ हो गया उसके अंदर, तो गैब सी हो गई है. लेकिन जो गुजरात की पंजाबी है दैट्स वेरी सिमिलर टू जो सिखों वाली साइड की, अमृतसर साइड की पंजाबी है, और बड़ी ठेठ किस्म की है, और उसका लहजा और अंदाज जो है ना वो बड़े मज़े का है.
रिदमिक सा है, मेलोडियस है.
यस, एंड द वे दोज गाइज आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग इट करंटली, उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा काम निकालना शुरू किया है. आई डोंट नो व्हाट द रीज़न माइट बी कि वो एकदम से क्यों इस तरह की वेव आ रही है, बट दे आर डूइंग सम गुड स्टफ.
ठीक हो गया. अच्छा, मुझे ये बताएं कि आई नो दैट यू गाइज डिड दिस थिंग, it was called the Desi Battle League. Desi, so that's THEY.
Yeah, that's the wordplay. Yeah.
What was the thought behind that? It started in 2017, I believe.
14.
Acha.
Yeah.
This is old. This is right after you came back from Saudi.
No. 2013 to be exact. The first ever battle that we did was in 2013 in Riyadh.
Acha.
Yeah. So Desi Battle League, I fell in love in battle rap in 2010, 2009 basically. Because abhi bhi it's been a decade or more than that. I've stopped listening to rap music. I just do very selective listening. As a शौक के तौर में अब rap को मैं नहीं सुनता, because me being a student of hip hop and rapping in general, I've crossed the threshold where I get amused by rap songs basically. So the next level of lyricism, because मुझे वो चीज़ एस्पायर करती है, being a lyricist myself, कि मुझसे बेहतर और अच्छा कौन लिख रहा है और कौन लोग हैं जो कि who can actually give me entertainment basically.
Right.
तो battle rap is a realm in West where जहाँ पे elite level की lyricism हो रही है, और वो इतना आर्ट फॉर्म ग्रो कर गया अब तो. उस टाइम से लाइक यू ऑल हैव सीन 8 Mile, Eminem, वो जो बैटल रैप कर रहे थे वाज वेरी पनी, और एक दूसरे को लाइक क्या कहते हैं, बीट के ऊपर से कर रहे थे. नाउ द बीट्स आर गॉन एंड द लिरिसिज्म हैज टेकन over basically.
Right.
And new rhythms, new patterns have taken over.
So beats are कौन से क्या मुराद है? क्योंकि पहले जिस हम
बैटल रैप में बीट्स नहीं है
कि वो आप एक बूम बॉक्स के ऊपर लगाते थे और फिर आप उसके ऊपर रैप कर रहे थे, तब आपने बस करनी है.
Yes, and it's created this a very new universe where the huge battle rap superstars basically जिनको अब इंडस्ट्री देखती है और उनसे इंस्पिरेशन लेती है. Jay-Z, Drake, क्या कहते हैं अपना Kanye है, all of these people have publicly not only supported but actually said कि उनको कौन से उनके favorite battle rappers हैं जिनसे वो सीखते हैं, समझते हैं, सुनते हैं.
Right. And these are newcomers in the industry जो ये battle rappers हैं. मतलब essentially not newcomers but like
no, they've been there.
They've been there since
now they're getting the spotlight basically, limelight.
Okay. So they've been there since these other sort of Jay-Z's and all of these guys have been.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So for me, battle rap was a new universe, and I still get fascinated by it because it's उसमें वो वाहिद जगह जहाँ पे boundaries as a lyricist, as a rapper push हो रही हैं, और on the other hand जो mainstream rap है उसमें वो गिरती जा रही हैं. The rap is getting dumber and dumber.
अच्छा, just to sort of expand, again I'm sorry for cutting you off, but
no problem.
thought आती है, but लिरिक्स की बात करते हैं,
Yeah.
जो मेन स्ट्रीम रैप है, what are your thoughts on that? Because I mean,
The-
that's one of the reasons why I don't listen to it. It's the same stuff, just put it in a box, shaken a billion different ways, and
Yeah.
just with a new beat every single time.
Yeah.
Just some of के मैं चरसी और मैं बच्चीज and sharabis, and
Mm.
the fact is, you don't look like one, and so
Yeah.
again वो culture का हमें missing हो जाता है या कुछ और हो जाता है. I feel like so in terms of lyrics, there have been here and there, like again Hashim ko maine last time when I spoke to him, I was like, listen, like one of the reasons why I really liked your work was because I'm not a rap listener, but your lyrics pulled me in.
Yeah, he's purely original, and
Yeah.
he
Authentic and
he works towards making it sound like making it different.
yeah,
He's on a track with someone, he will out rap them.
absolutely.
That's the whole aim basically.
Yeah. And then Faris, again, at least I could connect with him a lot. Try to reach out to him, but he's a very sort of introverted, it seems like it. Doesn't speak to a lot of people, but he, at least for in some songs, there's a lot of thought to what he's saying and why he's saying it in the first place. Again, I don't know कि उसमें रैप की जो साइंस है वो कितनी अच्छी उस पर है कि नहीं है, बिकॉज मुझे लोग ये भी कहते हैं कि यार ये रैपर है जो कि जो फ़लसफ़ा ऑफ रैप है हाँ क्या है, बट देन वो जो फ़लसफ़ा ऑफ रैप है वो बहुत अच्छा होगा, बट दैट्स अ स्किल,
Yeah.
but the language has to make sense. It's communication. It has
Yes.
to be some thought that you're communicating out to the audience, right?
Yes.
And
I can
find that
unpack
missing.
that for you in this way कि आप जिसको सुन रहे हैं उसका on a personal level उस artist का goal क्या है. If he just wants to reach masses and make money and get fame, then of course he'll go with the formula.
Right.
That's been there before rap as well, in pop, in rock. It's been there. People have used it. It works. So it's fine, and it's good for them, and
Right.
and God bless them.
Yeah. And मतलब जिसमें कोई ये नहीं है कि ये बेहतर है ये वो बेहतर है. वो
And
एक
and
requirement है.
Faris, I believe, do not have those goals. I do not know him. I've just met him once, and that too in a very in a setting where we could not talk. But I can tell by listening to his music, he does not care. He does not care how it's going to be received. But his original element will always be there.
Yeah.
You will not. फारिस का ट्रैक आप जो सुनोगे आपने ऐसी चीज़ नहीं सुनी होगी पहले. सेम गोज फॉर हाशिम नवाज एज वेल. ठीक है. सेम गोज फॉर फ्यू अदर आर्टिस्ट. आई कैन नेम मोजी भी है. ठीक है. इन दैट लिस्ट. ठीक है. एंड हाशिम इसाक इज ऑल्सो इन दैट लिस्ट. देयर फ्यू अदर एज वेल. बट you can tell by listening to these people they're bringing themselves into the music,
Right.
not trying to get something from somewhere else and then bringing that forward. Both cases are fine. It all depends कि आपका personal goal क्या है.
Right.
If you want to represent yourself and then make it work, make that work, which is more difficult.
Yeah.
It has worked for Farish and has worked for few others as well. At times it does not work for people.
Yeah.
But then again, depends what your goal is.
Right. And what about this within the hip hop culture, there's a whole dissing, मैं बहुत बड़ा king, तुम तो, what do you think about that? You've been there for 16 years. I feel like that didn't exist 5 to 7 years ago.
Let me in this art form, in hip hop or rapping in general, me myself, competitive nature is always there and should be there. ठीक है. जिस तरह मैंने हाशिम की बात की थोड़ी देर पहले, मैं भी किसी के साथ ट्रैक पे होऊंगा ना, तो बेशक हम ऑफ कोर्स दोस्त हैं, बडीज़ हैं, बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स हैं. ठीक है. बट आई विल नॉट लेट यू आउटशाइन मी ऑन दैट ट्रैक.
Right.
That competitive nature in rap exists and will always exist.
But it's an inherent part of the art form.
And it's important.
Right.
मेरा पेन आपसे अच्छा होना चाहिए, तेज़ होना चाहिए. मेरी जो डिलीवरी है, मेरी cadence है on the beat should have more impact than you. ठीक है. When the track ends, people should say कि यार इसका सीन था. ठीक है. So that, and it's a good thing to have. It's a good emotion to have. अब इस हद तक ये चीज़ बहुत अच्छी है. When people attach it to their personal emotions ना, when they start taking it personally, that's where the problem starts basically. So जो डिसिंग कल्चर कोई नहीं है, ठीक है. यू कैन आप किसी भी जॉनर में लोगों के बर्थडे बीफ्स वगैरह होते हैं. इट्स जस्ट दैट रैप इज़ वेरी आउटस्पोकन, और रैपर्स आमतौर पे जो जनरल उनकी एस्थेटिक है और जो उनका काम करने का तरीका है कि अभी जो उनके साथ हो रहा है ना वो उस बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, और वो बैक टू बैक ट्रैक्स आते रहते हैं, तो वो बात उनको मजबूरी है कि वो अभी जो हो रहा है उस पर बात करेंगे, तो दैट इज़ मोर रेलिवेंट. स्टेज लोग इस बारे में बात भी करते हैं. कुड बी एनी थिंग. Could then just like could be the YouTube ban they're talking about, could be some political situation they're talking about, but अगर उनका किसी से भटा चल रहा है तो of course they're going to target, and that is called a diss track.
Right. क्योंकि मैं आपको बताऊँ ना, this is going to be, this episode with you is going to be the 175th conversation I've had on this platform over the past 13 months. There's only been twice जब मैं ट्विटर के ऊपर और इंस्टाग्राम के ऊपर टैग हुआ और कोई खुली हुई थी. दोनों दफ़ा रैपर्स की एपिसोड आई थी. ठीक है. और आई डिडंट इवन नो कि इनका सिस्टम क्या चल रहा है. और वो क्या हुआ कि जी वो लोगों ने स्निपेट्स निकाले और लोगों ने कहा ये एक एक चीज़ को, मैं खैर नहीं मारा गया थैंकफुली, अभी तक कैंसिल नहीं हुआ. मैं बार बार अगेन रैप की हर एपिसोड में डिस्क्लेमर देता हूँ यार आई डोंट नो इनफ अबाउट इट, बट
गुड लक विद दिस वन.
बट जो गेस्ट बैठा होता था वो लाइक ये क्या बकवास है, ये इस तरह कर रहा है, ये उस तरह कर रहा है, इस तरह. लास्ट टाइम एक दफ़ा मारा गया, लास्ट टाइम मैंने डाली, आई बिलीव दैट वाज विद TJ Toshi, I believe, not sure. And there's this huge rant on Instagram where the people are like, listen, like this guy is this and that, and do your due diligence. Like again, I'm just here having conversations. It's non-commercial. I don't get paid for this. For me, if I find someone who's doing something and making music and getting views, I'd like to unpack that. But people were like, you have responsibility. And so I realized that people take this very seriously.
Right now they are. Let me take a step back then again. It's an ongoing thing. Remember when Atif and Jal broke?
Right.
These are the same people, same emotions, same नहीं आतिफ ठीक है, नहीं गौहर ठीक है. और there was अब of course उस वक्त सोशल मीडिया से नहीं था, but you saw that emotion. You were probably in university, college at that time. This was the hot topic. ठीक है, तो अब rap has dominated. So rap is the
drama that goes with it also, obviously.
It always goes on with something or one thing or the other, and there's always a bunch of people from age 13 to 21 who are involved in that. And it's fine. It's their part of evolution. They're learning. They have their role models. There's certain things they're very passionate about. और वैसे थोड़ी वो एज होती है जिसमें टीन फैक्टर होता है ना, ज़रा जज्बा थोड़ा ज़्यादा होता है. तो विच इज़ फाइन, एंड दैट्स हाउ. एंड द सेम पीपल, मुझे तो काफ़ी टाइम हो गया ना, आई हैव सीन पीपल गो थ्रू दैट फेज एंड लेटर ऑन स्टार्ट रिस्पेक्टिंग यू एंड सेइंग नहीं यार मैंने आपसे गलत बात की थी, मैं आपसे ऑनलाइन ये बात कर दिया, आई एम सॉरी. और जो पर्सनली मिलते हैं व्हेन दे हैव ग्रोन अप, तो इट्स ऑल फाइन. So I don't mind it. It's fine, and it's actually good. The buzz interaction, it's good for that. कि लोग बात कर रहे हैं और उसकी वजह से व्यूज आ रहे हैं. तो आर्टिस्ट इज ऑलवेज इन द बेनिफिशियरी. या ही इज ऑलवेज देयर. उसको मजा आ रहा है, बेशक उसको गालियाँ पड़ी हैं या नहीं पड़ी हैं, बोथ द केसेस. तो बट इट फॉर मी इट्स फाइन. इट्स ऑल गुड. इट्स ऑल इन गुड. पर आई नो कि यार ये अभी 3 साल रह गए, 2 साल रह गए, अभी बड़ा हो जाएगा,
सेट हो जाएगा.
खुद ही सेट हो जाएगा.
Where do you think the industry is at right now? Because I feel like do you think it's peaked now finally, which was like people were waiting for again? Like I'll mention again, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, ISPR, you name it, every big gun is right now looking for a rapper just trying to commercially Free Fire, 50,000 naam hai. All of the biggest money spenders are just looking for a rapper and trying to work around it. And उसमें फिर वो उसकी विजुअल्स और इमेजरी और वो भी अब जो है ना, वो अगर किसी ब्रांड ने मेन स्ट्रीम रैपर को नहीं भी उठाना तो उन्होंने अपनी थीमेटिक के अंदर वो बॉयज़ दिखाने जो कि साइड पे खड़े हो गए थे और रैप करें बड़े सटल तरीके से. एंड सो एक्सेप्टेंस एक आना शुरू हो गई है. Where do you think it'll go from here?
It has to go forward. I think there's a lot more years in rap in Pakistan, maybe way more than any other genre has seen. Rock did see it since the birth of Vital Signs and then Junoon, and then there was a whole bunch of bands. EP, Miss Mar, Miss Rap, एक पूरा पेंडोरा बॉक्स खुल गया था. and then it all died away with time. Rap, I guess, has just reached there, and there's और जब अभी नए लोग आएंगे, I believe there's a lot more talent that has to come, that will come forward. Then again, the people who will stand out will be the one who will bring their originality. Who will stick to the local elements. Will definitely outshine the ones जो कि एक formula base पे चल रहे हैं currently जो भी scene है.
Have you heard of Abdullah Siddiqui?
I love him.
I've
met him.
Have you seen Arooj Aftab?
No, I have not. I recently saw her name in that Grammy situation.
Yeah.
I still have to check her music out.
I'm just shook by this generation, this sort of 15 to 21-year-olds of current आजकल के. You know, you mentioned originality, and I feel like it's finally coming. Like I'm finally listening to stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is not bad.
Yeah.
You know, these kids are doing phenomenal work.
Yeah.
And it's so raw and it's so authentic, and it's not like कि यार भाई अब अब्दुल्ला को उठा लें, आपको 2 मिनट में ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि ये ना मुंह टेढ़ा करके ना अंग्रेजी का नहीं कोशिश कर रहा है.
बिल्कुल. He's delivering what he is.
He's delivering what he is, right? And उसके दरमियान में वो डिलीवर कर सकता है. वो कह सकता है कि यार ये तो सारे ये उर्दू वाले, वो हर गाने में दरमियान में एक उर्दू का एलिमेंट जरूर डालेगा, जस्ट कि अगर वो कह रहा है कि मैं इंटरनेशनल भी एम कर रहा हूँ, I'm gonna put this aspect of my culture out there for the public to consume as well.
And I believe he also has a lot of evolution left in him. The way he's explored himself as a musician, I believe he has the potential to be. मैं बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं करना चाहता, लेकिन but then again, someone like A.R. Rahman musically, if he starts tapping into that, then what A.R. Rahman does, all local percussion instruments, but it sounds international. And he has that talent. He has the talent to make it sound international, but he's working with Western elements right now. And then थोड़ा उसमें देसी डालता है. And I believe that.
So he's a producer and a composer as well?
I believe so. I think, I believe so. मैंने इसके कुछ credits वगैरह देखे तो I believe he does his music himself.
Very cool. And then there are a lot of these other artists जो कि pop up कर रहे हैं. You know, Spotify indie में जाएं आप तो भरे पड़े हैं. And I feel like, again, they might not be fully polished, but if I compare myself to, you and I essentially are the same age, if I compare ourselves to when we were 15, we definitely were the first people to begin to explore because internet था हमारे पास. But हमें पॉलिश होने में बड़ा टाइम लगा था because हमारे पास वो अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं थी. इन बच्चों के पास यूट्यूब भी है, वो देख इतना ज़्यादा कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं.
वही थोड़ी सी एनवियस होता है बंदा, यार हमारे टाइम पे ये सब नहीं था, तो अब इनको तो सब बड़े आसानी से मिल गया. बिकॉज मुझे याद है हमें सुनने को मिलती थी कि यार ये तुम क्या रैप कर रहे हो, ये क्या होता है, क्या बक लगा के रखी हुई है,
ये क्या गालियाँ, गंदा मंदा कल्चर.
और कॉन्फ्लिक्ट मैनेजमेंट, ऑल ऑफ दैट वर्क केम आउट at a time when rock was peaking basically. So for us to stand out at that time was a huge challenge, and push it like that was a huge challenge. So but kids today, I won't say they have it easy, but they have the tools and they can make it work.
Yeah, definitely. Your new album is coming out. When's that scheduled for release?
I have not planned a scheduled date yet. I'm not good with that. Never been good with schedules. But I'm halfway through it, I know. I've done 4 music videos so far with the brilliant Awais Khan. He does videos for Sunny Inch and other people as well. I love that guy's work and his aesthetic towards.
क्या नाम है Instagram पर है?
Awais Khan. You can probably Awais Khan 2.0 होगा शायद.
हाँ. I've seen his work. Very interesting.
Yeah. So he did my video Univi last year, and I fell in love with that video. And it's nothing special. It's just that when when a person can understand what you're trying to deliver, and he understands that, so
connects with you on sort of like
on a creative
emotional
level.
and creative level.
Yeah. So working with him on videos, as far as audios are concerned, I plan to do at least. I have a lot of tracks, unfinished tracks that जिसमें से मुझे pick and choose कर रहा हूँ मैं कि मैंने theme कैसे करना है अपनी album को. But my goal is to since आपके मुझे 16 साल हो गए हैं, and I have never put out a project like this, ठीक है, तो I wanted to have my complete body of work, all elements of myself, ठीक है, because मैं सूफी का मुझे सा टैग लगा हुआ है पहले का. So that exists, but there are a lot of other things that I do. I understand that I like doing. So I like. अब मैं उसको theme out कर रहा हूँ अभी. I'd like to have for it to have at least 12 to 15 tracks.
Do you think you'll have some sort of collaborative work as well?
A lot of collaborations. As far as producers are concerned, so far I have Gauri on it. Sheroz, this is amazing producer from Jhelum. Gauri मेरे साथ already rap engineers में है. He's been working with us since 2015. And there's JNP. Nobody in hip hop has yet worked with him in Pakistan. I would love for people to work with him because वही बात है, हम एक सर्टन लूप्स में और सर्टन उसमें फंसे हुए कि बीट चलती रहे. ही इज़ समवन हु ब्रिंग्स इन लॉट ऑफ वेरिएशन. उसकी अपनी इंस्पिरेशन है एंड द वे ही प्रोड्यूसेस योर ट्रैक is a whole other entertainment for an artist himself कि यार ये क्या कर रहा है मेरे गाने के साथ. So he has that वो. So these are people that I'm currently working with, and I would also like Ali Akhtar सभी हैं उसके ऊपर. On a producer list so far ये है. Adil Umar is on it as a producer as well, and is on a collaboration as well. So but all the collaborations I won't say much, but there are a lot of collaborations as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And are they mostly with newer artists, older artists, established artists?
Artists that I love and respect, and I don't care the stature. Never did.
Right.
So working with the same guy from Gujarat, working with them as well, and working with a few legends as well that I would like to name once everything is ready and done.
So estimated timeline? No idea. Maybe 6 months. 1 year.
6 months is a lot of time. Before that, inshallah.
And do you think you'll sign with a label or something of that sort for marketing and a lot of that stuff? आप आजकल बड़ा system हो गया ना कि जी, like.
I'll explore what's there, and if it's beneficial, I'll see if it works out. If not, I'm okay with the way
releasing
it is.
independently.
मेरा ये होता है कि मैं गाना जैसे पब्लिश का बटन दबाता हूँ ना, मैं नहीं देखता मुड़ के हुआ क्या उसके साथ.
Right.
तो जिस पे मेरी फ्रेंड्स और फैमिली तपते हैं मेरे पे, यार ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो, मतलब थोड़ा पुश किया करो. और ऑन माई बिहाफ एक दो दफ़ा कोई मेरे गाने स्पॉन्सर भी कर चुका है, फिर मैंने उनको सुनाई नहीं, यार क्या कर रहे हो तुम ये, मतलब. तो आई डोंट नीड दिस. तो बिकॉज मेरी जो मुझे सुनते हैं वो मुझे सुनते हैं रिगार्डलेस.
Right. Yeah. Will this come out as Xpolymer Dar, or will it come out as Rap Engineers?
Interesting questions. No, it will come out as Dar. I wanted a Rap Engineers album in the market. I always did. But since I'm moving out a bit, और there's scheduling के issues रहे हमारे बीच में आपस में. We all have our very serious personal lives going on, जिसमें हम we couldn't take a lot of time. हम jam हमेशा करते हैं, weekends पे मिलते हैं, तो we are always like into music, सुन रहे हैं, बना रहे हैं, but we never get to like complete projects. तो अभी हम कुछ बना के हमें मज़ा आया सुन के ना, और फिर बाद में सुनते रहते हैं और फिर कुछ और बना लिया. तो हमारा ये मूड है काम का. So I would like for that to happen sometime later, probably when I can. But for now, it's going to be my album. Right. It will have Rap Engineers tracks as well.
And this is the first album that's coming out with the Dar label?
Yes.
Is this the first album that you guys are coming out with, period, or is this?
Period, yeah.
You haven't done an full-fledged album?
Never.
Very interesting. Very cool.
Yeah.
Shamu's going to be in the new album? Just going through your Twitter, and I feel like that's going to happen. Gonna switch the conversation again a little bit. I know that you speak a lot about the society, and you have a lot of opinions and thoughts and feelings about that. How do you see the Pakistan of today? Things around you.
Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and this whole area has been plagued with group identity, basically. The group identity politics, and that it's a sad situation, because we should work on individuals. We should work on making an individual independent, and give him all the luxury and privilege, basically, and help an individual out, not a group, basically. तो हमारे जो mindset है, जिस तरह स्ट्रक्चर हुआ हुआ है बहुत अरसे का,
Punjabi, Urdu speaking, Pathan, that way, or
that way, then ethnic, religious, then any. ये जो खिता ना, it's very prone to getting attached to a group.
Right.
कि मैं ये
find their identity in some sort of a group. They don't believe in themselves enough. They're like, यार,
yeah,
I feel like I belong here, and so I'm going to adhere to this cult.
हाँ, अपने आप को हर्ड में डाल के और अपनी इंडिविजुअलिटी ख़त्म हो जाती है बंदे की फिर. So that's one of the bigger problems that I see in this area. Basically, I won't say Pakistan, but
Do you think that has to do with your economic condition? I mean,
Yes.
it's sort of a survival instinct, right?
yes, yes, and the way we were left by, I won't blame the British, but then again, they were part of our history, and the way we idolize them and idolize the West, and we have this inferiority complex as well. And उसको बैलेंस ऑफ करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा नेशनलिज्म भी है कि हम बेस्ट है, और लेकिन ये भी बहुत अच्छे हैं, और फिर एक अजीब सा एक कन्फ्यूजन है. So there's no middle ground. So
I feel like there's no national identity to begin with. A lot of kids don't have an understanding of. Growing up in the 90s, I feel like there was.
it's just getting attached to that popular idea of nationalism.
Yeah.
But there is no backing of it.
Yeah.
कि क्यों आप why are you nationalistic? What do you really like about Pakistan?
Yeah.
Ask that, and you might not have an answer.
And there are a lot of things to like. But the fact is, the kid who's screaming actually doesn't know about it.
Yes, that's the whole. Do your research and understand why you like this place. Because I do like it.
Yeah.
And I know why I like it, and I know why I dislike it.
Yeah.
But I won't call myself nationalistic, but I like to see people individually. I like to see who they are, and then go on with them like that, basically.
I feel like a lot of times what we do is we, particularly when we're critical, not just critical actually, like you mentioned, nationalistic लोग कहेंगे सब बेहतरीन है, दूसरी साइड पे कहेंगे. I feel like, we talk a lot about Pakistan being very diverse, but we don't really truly accept that diversity. So for example, हम कोई एक इंसिडेंट होगा किसी भी चीज़ के बारे में, किसी ने किसी को कुछ बोल दिया, हम कहेंगे पाकिस्तानी ऐसे हैं. The fact is, with 220 million people, there's a lot of diversity here. There's all sorts of people. They're conservatives, they're liberals, वो लोग हैं जिनके पूल पार्टीज हो रही हैं और शराबें चल रही हैं.
डिफरेंट रेसेस हैं जिनका कोई ताल्लुक नहीं एक दूसरे से.
एक तो क्या हुआ ना, रेसेस हो गई, एथनिसिटीज हो गई, लैंग्वेजेस हो गई. आपको बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं, उनको दो लोगों को बिठा दें, वो कम्युनिकेट नहीं कर सकते. दे डोंट हैव अ सेंट्रल लैंग्वेज. वो ये नहीं हो सकता कि पठान पंजाबी उर्दू में बात करके आपस में कम्युनिकेट कर ले. देयर सो विद इन देयर ओन कल्चर कि दे डोंट नो अ सेंट्रल लैंग्वेज. But beyond the, we speak a lot about the ethnic divide, the ethnic diversity and the sectarian diversity and the religious diversity. But the fact is कि वही आपकी इंडिविजुअलिस्टिक वाली बात है कि 22 करोड़ लोग हैं, हर किसी की अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी, और वो होगी, और वो उस बंदे की है. आप 4 लड़कियां जीन्स पहन रही हैं तो पाकिस्तान का माशरा नहीं ख़राब हो रहा. 4 लड़कियां बुर्का पहन रही हैं तो माशरा नहीं. मतलब it's like you hear these same arguments on both sides, and you're just like, listen, like let them live and let them live and let me live. I don't want to go through all of this stuff. So us tarah se we don't have that understanding कि यार a thing that a group of people end up doing it doesn't need to represent you.
Yes, having group identity is amazing. Belonging somewhere is amazing. That I'm a Pakistani, or I'm a Punjabi, or I'm a Sindhi. It's nice to have that identity, but it should not define the way you treat other people.
Yeah.
The outcome should be based on individual experience, not based on whatever group that person is from.
Yeah.
Basically, so वो जो एक जो breakdown करना है ना, वो I believe education के through हो सकता है. तरबियत के थ्रू हो सकता है, बट इट्स अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस.
आई फील लाइक तरबियत इज अ बिगर थिंग, क्योंकि मैंने बहुत से एजुकेटेड लोग भी देखे हैं. फेसबुक की बदौलत आपको बड़े लोगों की बड़ी सारी इंसाइट मिल जाती है कि
वो अगेन आई बिलीव इन लाइक उससे फ़र्क पड़ सकता है. एटलीस्ट अगर यूनिफॉर्म एजुकेशन हो ना, सबकी बराबर एजुकेशन हो, एक डिफाइंड सिलेबस हो, तो सब पहले एक पेज पे तो आ जाए ना.
आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. पहले
एक पेज पे आ जाए, फिर हम करें ना आपस में बैठ के.
Makes sense. You're leaving Pakistan. Is that something to do with the fact that you don't like it here, or is that personal things that you have to just sort of look at?
No. My wife Madhya is a US citizen, and now I have a beautiful daughter, Mirha.
अच्छा, माशाल्लाह.
And अब उसका US का process कराना था, and then उसका करवा रहे थे, and then I also said कि हम जा ही रहे हैं तो मैं अपना करवा लूँ. It's not that I want to move there permanently.
Right.
Just need to get my process done, and I want the best for her, of course, and.
Right.
I don't see the world in shape of borders and form, and because whatever I can do best for my kids, I'll do it.
Right.
If I know the education system over here, we were just talking about it.
Yep.
I want her to get the best that is available, that I can provide within my resources.
In your understanding, is this the best, right? So
I would like her to grow, and of course हमारी कुछ certain part of family भी वहाँ पे है, तो grow within that family and move forward. I'm not leaving Pakistan, but it's just that I'm going to make that process, and then of course I'll do my back and forth depending on my work situation.
And then make your decision then.
Yeah. I'm right now. I just left, got done with my job yesterday. The one that I was working with for the past 6 years. Amazing people, Ahmed, Asad, and Nick, and then yesterday was my last day over there. It was pretty emotional and tense day yesterday. But moving forward, I have to find a new work life for myself as well.
Which city are you planning on going to?
Initially, I'll be in Dearborn.
So where is that?
It's in Michigan.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
Isn't that really cold?
Yeah, it is. It's going to be. It's going to be probably snowing right now, and it's. I'll land over there and I'll look at my options and see what I need to do. Either Pakistan, US, depends. Allah miyan ne kahan pe kya kis tarah likha hua hai.
Right.
So I'm in that transition phase for the past 6-7 months now. Life has been very interesting. So yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Dar bhai. We're at the 1 hour mark almost, and so I'd like to generally wrap the conversations up. वरना लोग बोर हो जाते हैं, बस कर दें. But one question that I ask generally everyone that I speak to.
Yeah.
You can answer this in a generalist context, or you can answer this specific to your area of interest and thought leadership, which is the rap industry or the music industry. But 32 years old right now. 30 years from now, you're going to be 62. You'll be at the peak of your power. Where do you see Pakistan? Knowing what you know now, where do you see Pakistan 30 years from now in 2050?
It's a very tough question, and I do not have an understanding of that in that manner of how things are going to unfold, because the past 10 years itself have been so unexpected, and this new generation that I'm looking at, that we all are looking at, the way they're reacting to things and the way they're doing things has been, we did not expect that, and we did not foresee that happening. So I don't know what we are about to see. I just hope that it's something that will that we all can sustain together and survive through together. Because जो पुराने लोगों के मिजाज थे वो सर्वाइवल मोड पे थे, क्योंकि वो काफ़ी डिफरेंट टाइम से आए थे. अब के लोग जो हैं वो सर्वाइवल मोड से निकल चुके हैं. बट वंस if the shit hit the fans and these kids are not able to manage it, hopefully nothing happens of that sort. Pakistan, India, and nothing happens. But I just hope that everyone is able to play nice when it's time, basically. I just hope things stay the way things get better, basically.
Right.
But I cannot basically predict anything.
Right.
I do not have that understanding.
Makes sense. Sir, thank you so much for coming in, taking the time out. I wish you all the very best in this new transition that you're getting into. I'm excited for the new album.
Thank you.
I hope it I know that you don't like that, but I hope it does really well, and I hope that it gets the attention that it deserves, because you've been a phenomenal part of the industry. Personally, I've been hearing your name since well over a decade, and I mean it's amazing कि आप आज तक लगे हैं और आप कर रहे हैं, and आज उसका मुझे जवाब भी मिल गया कि for you it's not about a lot of those things. So again, tons of good luck. Thank you so much for coming in and honoring us with your presence.
Thank you so much, Muzamil. I was looking forward to this. I saw a few of your podcasts, and I was like, the long form conversations is a very good way to unpack things and understand where people are at, and it gives the audience as well a very different and original perspective on things.
Yeah.
Single statuses and tweets do not deliver that, basically.
100%.
And you're doing an amazing job, and I'm honored to be here, basically.
Thank you so much. And for all of you guys, thank you so much for watching. अगर आपको एपिसोड पसंद आया अपने दोस्तों से जरूर शेयर करिएगा. यूट्यूब वाले लाइक बटन दबाएंगे, एंगेजमेंट बढ़ेगी, ज़्यादा लोगों से हमारी कॉन्वर्सेशन पहुंचेगी. फेसबुक वाले नीचे दी गई लिंक पर क्लिक कर सकते हैं. It's the TBT community where we take your feedback, get guest recommendations, share different articles, and have different conversations. So you can join that community if you'd like. ऑडियो प्लेटफॉर्म्स वाले सब्सक्राइब कर दबाएंगे, आने वाले एपिसोड का नोटिफिकेशन मिलेगी. इसी के साथ साथ इजी पैसा जैस कैश यहाँ पे कहीं पे अपीयर हो रहा है. If you'd like to support the channel, we accept anything from 1 rupee as much as you'd like. It's the thought that counts. इसी के साथ साथ हमारी नई podcast start हुई है, the Pakistan Pivot, where we talk to different policymakers, government officials, ministers. We recently spoke to Hamad Azhar, Dr. Moeed Yusuf, the chairman of CPEC, Khalid Mansoor, the Minister of Health, Dr. Faisal Sultan. So if you'd like to watch that podcast, the link is down below. Check that out. But anyways, this was Sayyid Muzamil Hasan Zaidi. You were watching Thought Behind Things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.